Oh, Jackie's gone. She disappeared. Hey, how's everybody today? Happy Sunday, beginning of your week, end of your week, end of your weekend, whatever you think of it as. I think I can share today. I think I can like get back in the loop of sharing stuff. I'm gonna try. So that's what I was trying to do. So today's topic, when Jackie gets back, is spiritual warfare,
Where
and
you at, woman?
we're gonna leave it wide open. Hey, Jeremy, where like whatever you think spiritual warfare is, you comment, you ask questions, whatever it can be. Good versus evil. It can be Lord of the Rings. It can be the Pinball Wizard song. It can be demons versus angels. It can be Nephilim, aliens, Bigfoot. Spirits versus whatever. Any of that stuff that you think that you have questions about that might be linked to good and evil. Go ahead and ask those questions. No questions too dumb or no questions the wrong question. I'll go ahead and like just say that I wanted to talk about like the Nephilim and the giants because I've been seeing like quite a bit of stuff about giants for a long time, like years and years, and read about Nephilim. Hey Matthew, hey Jeremy.
I'm glad you said no questions too dumb. I mean, I got quite a few. Now. I'm not to open up my epic.
Whatever. Yes, I
Well,
didn't do it. So like the Nephilim, this is just like my part of the show. Like we all separate it and we kind of like square it out where each one of us gets to talk about a topic or just say whatever we want to about that subject. And I looked at the Nephilim and giants because, in different civilizations, they show where they found bones and evidence of giant beings or, beings with giant skulls, beings with giant skeleton frames, and all of that stuff in Egypt and in different countries, not, just in the subject of Nephilim or the Bible or whatnot, or the book of Enoch, whatever you want to say. Anyways, so the theory is from my research that the fallen angels came to Earth and mated with human women. They came in flesh form. When they mated with human women, they impregnated them, and it kind of reminds me of like a succubus incubus too, in a way. And they created and birthed giant people that were called Nephilim, which like in David and Goliath is the best way that I can like describe would be like one of the giants. But if you look up giants in history and different stories of giants, you'll find some more recent topics about the military being involved in finding giants in the last several years, and all other kinds of stuff. You can look at Nephilim or giants, Okay. I thought that was in our group chat. So, hey, Chad, what's up? What did he say? What is the? I'm going to highlight this. What is the scariest entity or figure you have seen, and what activity did you get from it? One of you guys want to answer that one?
scariest incident. Well, I woke up this morning this afternoon rather, and I saw Jackie. Does that count?
No, that does not count,
No.
sir.
Entity. She's a human. She's not an entity.
Well, okay. Well, I went to go take a shower. Well, actually a bath today, and she got in before me, and there was a lot of hair in the tub.
Oh my Lord.
Well, that's some activity, I guess.
It was almost like Ghostbusters when you see that scene where the tub was trying to eat him.
Oh my goodness, he said my wife.
Listen,
Hello, Matthew. Right. I think that's a good, like when you say that, you know what I picture? Chrissy, I picture you being up on a judge's stand with a gavel and you're like, listen, order in the court. Listen to what I have to say right now. Listen.
I need that with Howard because Lord have mercy. He
You
don't
need to buy a gavel. Buy a gavel to use on the shows. For real. That would be hilarious.
It could be the worst thing I've ever witnessed. It could have been. It hasn't come true yet, but we're working on it. It has to do with a cornfield. And one of the panels.
Gosh, Howard, different show, sir. So I will take over with this question. So the scariest thing that I have ever seen personally was at Randolph County Infirmary in Indiana. So it was
first thing. Who's Randolph?
It's the name of the facility.
Oh, I thought it was the guy. Okay. Facility. All right, got it.
Wait, now what were you saying? I'm sorry, I was sharing.
I I was saying
Sharing. I was sharing,
the
not
the
sharing.
scariest thing that I've ever seen was at Randolph County Infirmary here in Indiana. And I don't have you ever made it there yet, Rosie?
No, I really want to go there for like 2 years now, and I haven't gotten to go there yet. Someday I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we saw an entity that would literally come up through the floor and then be on the side of the wall and would be crawling. And then it would go back into the floor and then come back up and be crawling. It was the scariest thing
Someone was
I've
talking
ever
about that.
seen in my life. In fact, I mean, if you haven't been there, you wouldn't know what I'm saying. But so we were at one end of the hall, the men's side of the infirmary. And so we were at one end and it would start at the far end. And it was almost like it was playing peekaboo and messing with
Was
us.
it feminine in nature? Did it feel feminine in nature?
No,
No.
no. It felt very heavy. It felt masculine. It felt I mean I want to say evil, but I don't want people to think demonic. Okay.
Yeah. More
Because
like before that, like more evil, like a different kind of evil or something.
correct.
Okay.
But no,
I know
we
what
were
you mean.
right. We were standing there, and it would appear and then it would disappear. It would appear and disappear. Corey and I, which is one of my team members, was seeing it, but the person who was standing in between of us wasn't seeing it. So we decided to shift his perspective and his view. And once we did that, he saw it. But once he saw it, it was right by the room where he was standing at because it was a hallway. So it came out of that room, up through the floor, up through my arm, and down through the floor again. And I was done.
When
That
it
was
touched you, did it affect you? Like, did you feel a physical effect when it touched you?
it did. It almost
Yeah.
felt like my arm was on fire and it hurt.
Yeah.
It sent like a surging hot energy through my arm and through the
Yeah.
whole right side of my
I know
body.
like exactly what you're talking about. And that
And at that,
usually
yeah,
signifies bad, not good to me.
yes.
That usually
And
signifies dark to me, or
exactly. So at
bad.
that moment, I told the guys, I said, we're done. We're leaving this area right now. So that's probably the scariest thing that I've ever seen personally.
Here it is. The scariest thing I saw.
Howard,
That's not very scary then. I'm
it's
sad.
not scary. That's your
I'm not
beautiful bride
afraid.
to
It's not
be,
scary
sir.
enough
Don't
for
talk
me.
about me.
You're not scary enough for me, Jackie. You're not
I'm
scary
not.
enough.
He's scary.
Hey,
Look at
Penny.
that face. So that face, he's scary.
Yeah. Like I would think of that as something like an ancient, older, like an elemental or something like that is the best way I think I would describe it. But like something like more vast or older than the idea of demons.
I
Maybe
would
before
say so.
Christianity or something sort of. I don't know
I
if that makes sense or
I
not.
mean I'm not I have never seen that personally, so I can't define it. But Rosie, I mean, you're kind of hitting the nail on the head with if I had to describe it, that would probably be it. Howard, listen, behave.
Older, ancient, elemental.
Listen, I'm gonna get her a taser
In
so
the
she can
head with
shock
If
the
she is,
fire.
you better watch out because that means she has a lot of power under her belt.
right. I'm sitting right next to you.
And she might use it against you in your sleep, especially. Better not sleep with one
Oh,
eye
she.
open.
Oh, yeah. That's the opposite way around. She sleeps all the time.
That's funny. Yeah, maybe.
Oh my lord. Listen, sir, that happened 2 years ago.
This is interesting. I've seen a woman
Coming
coming
out
out
of
of
the
a mirror.
mirror.
Like,
Oh
where were
yeah.
you at when this happened?
And was mirrors facing one another when this occurred, or was it just one single mirror?
And has this happened before? Or again since then? Hey, Joshua. I didn't even see you pop in there. You say, hey, y'all, been a horrible few days. I feel like good.
I've seen Jeremy York. when he came, when he
That
got,
was last night. Get it together.
when he came out,
When
came out of the restroom. Does that count?
What?
I seen Jeremy York when he came out of the restroom. Does that count?
No, that does not count. How is that scary? And how is that paranormal?
Well, you wasn't there to actually smell what came out of that afterwards.
Oh my gosh. So you're talking about the smell, not the person. Didn't he eat your food, sir? What'd you put in the food?
I don't know what that meant. I was not tracking him. I'm sorry. I had other things going on.
Sure you did. Sure you did.
it was an Irish pub or just a pub? You're just calling it a pub, or was it like an Irish pub actually?
No, it was a bathroom.
And was it extremely old? Oh, I'm asking Matthew.
Oh my God. It was. It was.
You're going to confuse the poor person. You're going to confuse Matthew Black. Like, you were just using the bathroom, and I guess you were looking in the mirror, Matthew. Like, not in, details of what you were actually in there for, but like, what was you doing when it happened? Like, just looking in the mirror, washing in the washroom, washing your hands when it happened. Was you popping a squat when it happened?
Jeremy, the video was last night. But not what I'm talking about at Randolph. That was 2 years ago.
A guy named Randolph.
Who?
Chrissy.
Where you saw that? Your investigation?
Yeah, this guy, she met him. His name was Randolph.
At your investigation last night, you met a guy named Randolph?
No, don't listen to your husband. He don't know what he's talking
see
about.
How nice. He totally just debunked what you said. If you want to use that word. He debunked what you said, Howard. He said she's pretty. See, she's not the scariest thing you've ever seen.
Available. I mean, she's got another, 9 weeks, 8 weeks to go.
Oh, good gravy.
Yeah. He's stuck when I got in there. Getting the coffee fort. I want a coffee fort. Can I have a coffee fort?
Sexy in here.
If they make a coffee fort, I know I'm going to go there, and I'm pretty sure Ane would go there. I don't know who else drinks lots of coffee, but
I don't drink coffee. I don't even go there, woman.
That's what gets you percolating.
Mirror was downstairs in it. Okay, so like it wasn't being used, and it was just sitting there, and it was probably like out of use, and it had been used at one time, and it was just sitting there, kind of like junk, like you'd put in a yard sale or an estate sale, something to that effect.
You got to watch when you go to those estate sales because you don't know what you're buying. I mean, seriously, you don't know what kind of attachments or what.
True.
Think you're getting a deal or a bargain, and you might be getting yourself a haunting.
That's why I met Jackie, and see, I've been screwed ever since.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to write this in. Sorry, I'm seeing weird numbers again. I always see weird numbers. I don't know. I don't get it. What was that? Matthew was a woman, tall or short. I bet you in a mirror it might be hard to tell unless you can see most of her. And did you get the feeling that it wasn't good, or that it was just, that it was not a threat? What did you get the feeling of?
Especially
That's spiritual warfare right there, Howard versus Jackie.
No, spiritual warfare when we walk in a grocery store and all of a sudden when people are walking away and I'm thinking something wrong with me and it's her.
That's funny.
I thought that was funny, man. I was running.
I got you, Joshua.
The counter with the guy. I was like, damn.
Bar in use anymore, but they keep it there as it is part of the place still. But they had a lot of activities, so we went to check it out. Oh, okay. So you did an investigation there. It was a place that wasn't open for the public at all.
So I'm curious, Matthew. So did it completely come out of the mirror? And then what happened?
What came out from you?
Old woman.
He said, I had a weird feeling about it, but it wasn't bad, just
Chrissy
negative
coming
feelings,
into
which
it.
could be heavy energy, which could be like the
Just
feeling the
calling
spirit took
it.
with it when it died. This person keep messaging me. I didn't even
That's what it
know.
was. Matthew, it wasn't a woman coming out the mirror. That was actually Chrissy peeking into a window.
Listen, I did not climb through no window in Ireland.
What?
Howard said it was me climbing through a window in Ireland.
And you
Scared me to
came
death.
out in the. Well, he did.
Uh-huh.
He said a pub in UK, but he didn't really say Ireland. I guess it could be
Oh,
Ireland.
my bad.
Yeah. He said that UK. She climbed out, stood there for about 3 seconds, and then I looked away and looked back,
How's
and
everybody getting
she
along?
was gone. I would call that a
Mm.
poop ghost because she was about to make you poop or pee your pants by doing that. That's what I would be like. Did it scream, listen?
That's normal
Good evening, everyone.
for me. I mean, I do that
Did
automatically.
it
I
Well,
ain't
scream
don't
listen?
mess with hexes. What does that say? I don't know why when I click on the comment it takes forever for it to pull it up. Don't mess with hexes and mirrors. That's some dangerous crap. Yeah, I'd agree. Probably. I mean, you can do things with mirrors, but you're opening something up. This was not in Ireland. It was in London. Okay, he did say that earlier. I forgot. He said it was in London.
that's one of the old rituals, actually. You used to, when somebody passes away, you wanted to cover your mirrors
Mm-hmm. Someone
because it would trap the
could have
soul.
passed away in that pub. I think maybe that could have been a mirror from someone's place that they passed away and they brought it to that pub and then it was sitting in that lower room, depending
Wait,
on where it came from.
so then what's the tradition? Can you uncover at a certain
Oh,
point
no,
and
you just cover it when they pass away for a few days, and then you uncover your mirrors. It's so the soul doesn't get trapped or lost. You want it to move on.
right, but it takes some people longer to move on. So how do you know when to uncover your mirror?
Exactly. Well, usually it's what, 2 or 3 days.
Well,
Somebody stick
so
around
they
that long, they might as well charge them rent.
Is
I,
it Facebook? Maybe it is. Facebook's been making a lot of changes lately too. I've noticed a lot of things have changed and like notifications of things that I didn't get notifications for before now. So I would probably that would make sense. I would say that mirror came from somewhere else and it was brought there and used when they were open, and then they didn't need it anymore and they stuck it down in the basement, or someone had a weird experience with it and stuck it down in the basement because it gave them the heebie jeebies and they stuck it down there, but they should have probably covered it and they didn't do that.
That's got a good question.
Yeah, it is a good question. I think it goes wherever the spirit feels it should go if they know that they're passed away, like where they're drawn to go.
Also, I mean, not just that, it'll go into multiple places.
Yeah, it can. I think that too. Yeah.
I don't know. Can a spirit get trapped in the mirror?
Yeah. I've been trying to throw you through a mirror for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now. It ain't worked yet, though.
That's a good question. Is that why you're breaking the mirror is 7 years bad luck?
They can get trapped in the mirror.
Don't watch that. That's superstition. That's superstition.
Because there's
how old is that superstition about covering the mirror?
I don't know. I know it's a Southern thing, too. I mean, they still believe in
Hey,
this.
Carl.
Hey,
I would
Carl.
look it up, see when it first like derived or when it first originated, because that's what I like to do is find out when some urban myth or legend or like some superstition actually originated and why did it originate? Like how was it born? Like what made it happen to be a belief or a superstition. That'd be a good topic too. Superstitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a really good topic. Next week, superstitions. Think of Superman. It's old. What's old? It's old, it's ancient. The mirror, is that what y'all are saying is old and ancient, or the belief about covering up the mirror is ancient? They said.
The Southern tradition isn't just you cover your mirrors, but you stop your clocks.
Oh yeah.
I tell you, there's a video. It's a music video. It was sung by Panic at the Disco, and the name of the song is Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
And it shows you pretty much the traditions that you're supposed to do when someone passes, and you're having it.
There's it right there.
It's 3 days.
Yep, you were right.
That reminds me of some stuff I saw about haunted paintings too recently. You said both. Matthew said, "I love that song." I don't know if I've heard it or not. I probably have, but
It's a
I
good
didn't
song.
realize that was what. Either I I don't remember it, or I didn't realize that was what it was called, or maybe I didn't realize that is what it was talking about at the time. I bet. You're probably driving down the road when I heard it and paying attention to the traffic because people don't know how to drive.
It's the video itself. That's what you want to watch. You want to watch the
Yeah.
video. It lists on everything. The song is good, but it's just the music video itself.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you when I just said all this?
Yeah, and you could actually tie that to spiritual warfare because things be hanging out and spying on you in objects, haunted objects, like in Annabelle, because that's kind of sort of what happened. Is something took over a doll and it was wanting to have a human host. I guess it was just sitting there waiting or spying on
I hate
people.
freaking dolls. I hate freaking dolls because that's an empty vessel for something that can actually enter it. It's so human-like.
Well, so I found out. So the stopping of the clocks, the most logical reason for this was merely to mark the time of death,
That's what I
but
thought.
it was for the doctors or record keeping. But the belief that time has stopped for the person who has passed and you are allowing them to move on without rushing them. If the clock is kept going, you are inviting the deceased to stay in your time and not pass on, thus inviting a spirit to stay and never move on.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass that.
Huh. That'd be cool to talk about in the superstitions too, like to get more in depth about stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like all kinds of superstitions. That's a cool one. I like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Good question.
Yeah, it is. And
Another good question: can you be in a spiritual warfare with your pet?
yeah,
I mean, why not?
when it passes away or when it's alive.
Both.
Both.
What happens if you got this cat that's just a complete asshole and it just comes after you during when it's alive? Will it come after you in death? Because they do have spirit animals. I believe in that. Will that
That's
cat
what
attack
Chad
you
said.
and
This is for you.
So if you want to refuse someone to leave, you keep the clock going. Per legend, I'm not going to say that that's factual, but for what I looked up, yes. However, I mean, we can do more research on that and see what other sites and resources say about that, because I can't speak to complete knowledge of that, but that's what folklore or tradition would tell you.
What's weird about that is supposedly in the spirit realm there is no time too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no time, there's no like sense of time, and there's no like measurement of time, that it's like a timeless realm or a timeless dimension. So that's also interesting if you put that versus that kind of. And I have a story. When my stepdad passed away, my mom's clock stopped in her kitchen, and it had never done that before, and it stopped working.
Really?
When he passed away, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it took her a while. And I had an encounter with him too that day that he passed away. So it's kind of neat that it stopped that day at that time, and that I had an encounter with him. And then later on, she kind of like decided to get new batteries and put in it, and it worked again.
Wow. That's interesting.
Watch, you just read it.
This is funny. Put the cat put sprinklers in your yard.
Shows you what you do. Told you it'll show it.
Hey Jerry.
So you were saying, Rosie, that you had done some research on spiritual warfare, and what was it that you were saying that you had found and connected to not just spiritual warfare, but the paranormal side and how it connects?
That is, and these are actually from legit resources, like people that work in the government, people that help create Scientology, which I don't follow, by the way, but people that help create Scientology and people that were connected to presidents, people that were connected to like the White House and stuff. Uh, I dig deep, 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 deep. You know, I want legit resources.
Sure.
Not just somebody that's like, oh, I think this happened. That's a conspiracy, and this is my theory. You know, not just that, but
Right.
a connection to, and this is like aside from the giants, really, it's another theory about what giants are that several different times in meetings that, and this is, goes back to the story that I've told several times on our different shows about Dwight D. Eisenhower meeting with the aliens. And there was a moment called like a blackout, and this happened again with Hillary Clinton and with Obama. And there was a moment called a blackout, and it was explained to everybody in the media that he had an emergency dental emergency, like a pain and a dental emergency, that he had to go to. Oh, Piper's my daughter's name. I thought you were talking about her, Joshua. That's funny.
Baby the bomb.
Weird. No, I've been hearing her name. I heard her name again yesterday in Hobby Lobby. Someone was yelling at their kid saying, Piper, do this and that. And I'm like, now he said it again. That's kind of weird. But like going back to that without jumping all over the place with my human ADHD, that first time Dwight Eisenhower met was at a military base, and it was supposed to have been with the gray aliens. And they were telling him that they had this technology that they wanted to offer him, and he was supposedly refused it. He said that we were not advanced enough as humans to accept it and to actually, use it here, that we wouldn't be able to use it, or for some reason he just didn't want it. And there's actually American Horror Story episodes. One of their seasons covers that. There was a year later, another incident where he supposedly met with the Nordics or Arctic. It was the Nordics or the Arctic aliens. I cannot remember, but they were white beings, and they were both abnormally large compared to humans, the gray ones and the Nordic white ones. And there's like some discussion, are those actually aliens? Are they actually demonic forces? Are they actually ascended masters from other races, like in Egypt and stuff, gods and goddesses? What are those? Were they, aliens? And they were supposed to be offering knowledge to presidents, aka like leaders, people that can have, a really big influence over the human race. Were they good? Were they bad? Supposedly, the Nordics told Eisenhower to not listen to the gray aliens, that they were evil and that they were deceptive and they were deceivers, and to not listen to them, and that they were making themselves out to be not evil, to be good. So that could be like, spiritual warfare, good versus evil. Hey, Pamela. What Joshua say? I went to a friend's home to help clear out a house recently in Eber City. The spirit chief was a drag queen and friend for 29 years. I saw her previously animals jumping around. Piper was rehomed. It was closure for me. So is Piper one of the pets of the friend or the Tiff? Somebody? Piper was like a real physical dog that was rehomed, not a spiritual dog. Previous animal and ghost form. That's interesting. How do you keep glitching talking about Eisenhower? Right. I'm sure it's not funny. I'm sure. I mean, it is funny, but I actually had a feeling today that I wanted to start doing some podcasts over some misinformation, and that probably I would get shut down if I do.
Shut down for doing what?
For doing podcasts about governmental evidence of stuff happening that they don't want people talking about, and
you ain't gonna get shut down.
I'm just saying that
you see what the unholy
might shut you down. Shut down yet.
We don't do hot topics.
Well, yeah, but that's not a governmental conspiracy.
Really, we don't do hot top.
Yeah, that's a little different. Like, yeah, people start glitching with that. Being
We
fact
do
checked or
saucy
a bad internet
topics.
signal. Could be a bad internet signal.
Spicy,
That is a show that came on called Blue
spicy.
Book, Project Blue Book. Yes, that is also part of tied into the document. If you look up the FBI archive of documents that they uploaded and put on the FBI
That
website,
was a good show,
Project
man.
Blue
I
Book is
loved
linked to
that show.
that.
That was actually a good show. And too bad,
Huh?
yeah, that was actually a good show.
What was Project Blue Book?
Blue Book, yeah, Blue Book. It came on
Yeah.
History Channel, I believe. Yeah,
Oh, did it?
yeah, it was a good show. I mean, I watched all of it. They always tried to debunk it, but it was like you had to watch the show for one thing. And that guy you seen on there, that Kevin Petrie guy, I'm not related to him in no way, fashion. That's the little baby
We
brother.
just lost Tiff. Okay. No, I would do
But
them on
like,
YouTube for sure. Painless, so you can watch them. I prefer to probably do them on YouTube, anyways, even though it's more of a chance of them getting shut down. I think because they have more. I think that they have more people that check stuff on YouTube because I've had stuff kicked off of there and deleted, and like taken off there multiple times on YouTube.
I say do it. I say
It's
do
not
it.
another dimension.
Let's do it. Let's do a show. Let's do a show about government conspiracies. Government
I think
cover-ups.
we should. I would love to do one like about that topic. Piper's like, you're like this old crazy conspiracy theory lady, mom. That's what Piper says to me, and she's like acting like what I say is like just crazy. And I'm like, do you want me to show you the resources so there's at least a little bit of tangibility to it? It's not just
See,
something I woke up and
we
started
can
saying
dress
one
you up
day.
in a Navy uniform. We can get you in places,
Right? I thought about that today.
sneak you in.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could be a janitor, you know. I can get the inside scoop on
Yeah.
that one. That's what I'm talking about. We can go to Presidio and all that places and get all the inside dish stuff.
We can be like Charlie's Angels. Get us some fake IDs, some badges, like work
Go
badges
in
for
the other way,
troops.
she'd come in as a one of them WWE wrestlers. And then,
God, Howard,
I wouldn't be
listen.
dressed as a wrestler because I don't think I'd be taken seriously if I showed up with my wedgie and all that stuff and my tight stuff and
no,
fit.
you
I
dress
think
up.
they'd be like,
You would have to dress up in the
I
Navy
don't know
suit.
this person.
You were just causing distractions so you can sneak in.
Did you say
Or I could go
we
to
or did you say
NCIS.
Chrissy?
No, you would be a WWE, wrestler, which is
No,
green
no,
spandex, thong,
no,
and
no.
what?
Listen.
Who would you be?
Janitor.
Song and I do not go in the same sentence. And if anybody's going to be doing wrestling, sir, it's you.
I wrestle with my conscience every day.
Okay. See, so you're ready to jump off that rope on the wrestling ring.
But no, you actually physically do it.
That
You've
is
already
true,
admitted
Pamela.
to it.
That's a very good point.
I did not behave.
And
Just
somehow you
saying.
can change stuff on that video, Pamela, and make it to where you can repost it and they won't shut it down for the reasons that I've had things shut down off YouTube or deleted.
Okay, what's Chad talking about? Is
I
this
think
the
I know what
different-
he's talking about. I think I read about it a while back and it was in the news, but I'm not sure if it's the same thing he's talking about. It might be a different incident. Yeah, what she said is true. What Pamela said is true. Like, shut down on YouTube, that's a video that's shut down, not your whole account, like on Facebook. Yeah. It may not be anything bad. It might be somebody you knew that was like trying to get your attention because that has happened to me before, and that's why I actually started doing paranormal, like in the like literally like having a team and investigating and stuff, is because that kind of stuff was happening to me, and I wanted to know what it was, and it wasn't anything bad. Over to me, this time I had a person come over. She said there was paranormal activity in here, and the REM pod wouldn't stop going off. Now she We'll come back over and finish it. I don't know what the rest of it says. And she, I'm guessing she's going to have to continue
I
that.
agree. I agree. She should be with midget wrestling.
I knew that was
Hey,
coming.
Enoch. Hey,
Jackie,
Chantel.
smack him.
Hey, Chantel.
Wrestler. Rude.
Talking like that.
What's up? You've been popping in here quite a bit lately on the shows.
He has been.
Good morning,
Chantal.
Chantel.
I can't remember where
It's
she's
morning
from.
time
She's from
in
another
South
country though.
Africa. Is it
Yeah.
morning time in South Africa?
I don't know. What time is it over there, Chantel? Hi, Dawn.
Dawn. Pamela.
I don't see her.
Pamela.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yes,
With
I
her
am.
shirt
I
on.
I am vertically challenged. I stand 5'2". So yes, I am not a midget, but I'm pretty darn close.
Awesome. It's after 2 a.m. She said. Is Chrissy hot challenged like me? It's after 2 a.m.
It's
That's
after
not
midnight.
late. Howard and Jackie were up later than that last night.
Yep.
Yeah.
I won.
Usually he keeps me up on that anyway, and I still get up and go to work. I think y'all were getting off the air Friday night when I was going to
Yeah.
work.
I knew that. I figured that would happen.
What? You remember?
We were. It was crazy.
I was with them until probably I had to finally go, but they were on there after I was, and he said you were about to get out of bed.
It was
But it
like
was a
four and
good
a half, 5
show.
hours he was on there on
It was
that
a
show.
good show. I mean, we brought on a fan, and it
Chad
was
Candy.
great. Yeah.
We might start doing that.
You bring on a fan and
Bring on someone from the Facebook chats.
that's a good
Yep.
idea.
So y'all be ready, be camera ready, because we may just pluck you right out of the conversation and put you on the live.
Hey, I've
Put
thought
you right
about
there
doing that a
next to
bunch of
Chrissy.
times, but I knew some people ain't going to come on.
I'll put you right next to Chrissy.
I used to have people doing that all the time. They'd send me invites to come on, and I'd be doing a private reading or like a public reading for somebody, like live readings. And I was like, hang on, I'll bring you on after I finish this reading. Because if that person comes on and just starts talking, I can't give the person the reading. And I'm like, well, then after that, I'd give them, their
Who did that bring on? Chad Candy?
their request.
It was good.
Small packages. So, what do you guys think about spiritual warfare? Chantal, Pamela, Enoch. Who else just joined not that long ago? There was somebody else. I only saw one. Dawn.
He had fun.
I think spiritual warfare could be prayer for a lot of people.
Yeah. Their way to, combat it, or their.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or even Bible study, learning what they can use against their enemy in a positive nature.
Yeah.
Also, spiritual warfare can actually lead to where it's actually physical warfare. It tolls on your spirit. I mean, it can actually affect you physically.
Absolutely. I agree.
Actually, a video I watched today that said something about that. Like, it was talking about, what was his name? Aleister Crowley and the Parsons guy. And what's the other guy's name? Oh, darn. There was another guy involved with them. I can't remember his name. It was a weird name. And how they spent so many years doing rituals, satanic rituals, to open this portal, like cause this rift in the world to open so that things could come in and come through. And that is kind of what like tipped off a more active. It's my dog. Did y'all hear that?
Is that my stomach?
What is that noise? Yeah, it sounded like a stomach, and I was like, or a crying, like a little kid crying or something. It was a dog yawning, but it was like talking about how they opened this like rift to another dimension, and when they did that, that they reported that, and it was reported to the FBI and law enforcement and government officials that this rift had been opened or caused in this portal opening, and that had started a lot of spiritual warfare here on this plane.
I'm gonna tell you now that actually with the spiritual warfare, it can basically you can have it just yourself. You can actually,
Yeah.
if you're having something with your own religion or something, it can actually drag you down and open you up to attacks from demonics, something evil. It can do a lot of things to you.
A horsey chick. What's a horsey chick?
She raises horses. She's got a horse farm.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm jealous.
You good people. That's okay. You're super tall compared
She's
to
a
me.
hard drink of water too, isn't she?
I like what Enoch said. And I like what Chad said. Is that why some areas stay at war for centuries?
Yeah.
What do you think? And then outward projections. I also believe that. I have like a theory. This is my own theory. It does not have to relate to anybody else in the world. They
I don't
think I'm
believe
crazy.
it.
They don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe it. But I think a lot to do sometimes with some kind of shadow figures is an outward projection of your lower self, and seeing other beings sometimes I think is an outward projection of your higher self, or just say seeing an available like an you're awakened and you have the ability to see those things, but it might not be something it might be your lower self and your higher self.
What if you have some certain forms of PTSD can be spiritual warfare?
Yes, it can. Absolutely. 110% for real. Yeah, I totally believe that.
But to talk about what you just said, though, Rosie, so if it's an outward projection of self-infliction or self-reflection,
Mm-hmm.
do other people see it if they have
And
gifts?
self-infliction, kind of like if you're afflicted by something, kind of like PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
then that could cause you to have that. I don't know if other people see it or not. I always wonder that because there's different instances where people see shadow things, but I do think that
Sure.
sometimes that you can be seeing like a projection of your lower self. I don't think that's
Sure.
always every situation, but I think sometimes it is.
Yeah.
What we focus on comes to existence. Sometimes I do think that, but I also think that that's not true because I don't focus on things at all, and I'm like flabbergasted and mind blown when I see and hear things that I just heard someone say or someone do or I just saw, and then I'm going about my business, and I literally am like, what the blank did I just hear over here that I just talked about yesterday, and why in the world did it? I don't think I'm powerful enough to manifest that. I think it was a coincidence, and I don't know why. I'm trying to figure
I
that
don't
out.
think you're not powerful enough to manifest something. Everybody's got that ability. I
I
believe.
think if I focused on it, I do believe I could. If I focused on it enough, like a negative thought, like you can create things from thinking negatively about something all the time. Or what if you're obsessed about something and you're obsessed about thinking badly, like, I'm not going to get that promotion that I want, and you don't get it because you're so obsessed about not getting it? Like, I do think you can manifest that kind of stuff. But when you're kind of like just going about your business, you're like, oh, I'm doing this, oh, I'm doing that. And I'm like, what the heck just happened? I just heard somebody tell me this yesterday. And it'd be an oddly specific thing. But I do also think that technology can spy on us through our phones. And I do think sometimes that can be the cause of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if someone talked about something yesterday that you were around and your phone was around, and then it popped up the next day coincidentally, that it might not be a coincidence. It might be something to do with that theory of spying and technology, through your phone
Yeah.
or laptop and stuff. I think that's totally possible.
It's just like I had the house bug. I mean, I can hear everything y'all saying all the time, but it's all good.
I told him not to do it, but he said he wanted to. Yeah.
So that's how you know where I'm at all the time, Howard. Stop being so darn nosy. My bad.
There's also software that people can install to spy on somebody, apps and programs.
I can see her running with her drawers around her ankles.
Oh my god! a little bit. I don't mean like you pulled in nowhere. I'm sorry, but I just want to know what it is and how to get rid of it. If someone can help me, thank you. And I am sorry that I messed it up. Oh, you're okay that you messed it up. I didn't think you messed it up. I just thought it ended and like you were dot 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 gonna like explain the rest of your story like you weren't finished saying something. That's what I thought. And if you could tell us where you're from or whatnot, we could probably like try to get us someone that's close to you to come to your house, like a team.
I'm already able to listen to your whole house and track your car everywhere.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I mean, didn't y'all? Everybody who is on here now on Facebook land, didn't you remember signing those agreements and everything when you first became a member? I
Yeah.
believe that one of those little agreements is that Facebook will be able to have access to your phone information, your mic, all that. Camera.
And camera.
Yep. So whenever
What?
time it doesn't mean that they don't. You don't even have to have your phone on, and they can just look.
Oh, I know that. And there's apps you can download that also can cause that. Like, I'm pretty sure TikTok is one of them. And what's that? There's like a talking WhatsApp. I think WhatsApp can allow people to spy on you through that app if they have the means to do so. Obviously, there's hackers out there that can, get all kinds of stuff.
Spies on you?
Everybody spy on you.
That ain't right.
But we were told not to download TikTok in the military because there had been some kind of evidence that they could spy on you through that app.
I like TikTok.
I do TikTok too, Jackie. I mean, they spy on me all the
Oh, I'm
time.
not saying not to do it. You don't have any. If you don't have classified information you need to hide, then you do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Do whatever you want to.
I got a TikTok too. I'm on it.
I do believe that. I do believe everything is connected and everybody's connected. And I do think that's why a lot of stuff happens and weird coincidences happen.
Say he don't have TikTok. You should get where he.
Why she want to get TikTok? He ain't got to get no TikTok. This is because you got it. Everybody in the world got TikTok.
The subject today, TikTok. No.
She can get TikTok, Tic Tac, whatever she wants, sir.
Tic Tacs. Tic Tacs. Anti.
I get me a damn candy bar. She wouldn't do that. But it's okay for her to get a candy bar.
You just gave me an idea, Chrissy.
Listen. You know why she said no to you getting a candy bar?
You know what? I would got
he wanted sugar.
You had too much of that cake that y'all have during this celebration time.
Probably.
Cake.
Cake.
That's it.
After that, I can't eat more.
You can't eat that?
I want some king cake.
I just took one little piece, and after that, it's too rich. Yeah, he's lying. He's lying. He's lying. Yeah.
That's the size that he ate, isn't it, Jackie?
Yeah, not me. Don't even point at me.
What do you think about that question?
I am not a chocolate. I can't eat chocolate, so I'm not a chocolate eater, so I don't know what that's about.
What do you think about Chad's question?
Don't all people pretty much give off projections and feel them from other people. Yes and no. I mean, everybody has a sense of empathy, which is the ability to empathize and feel people and emotions around you. However, expanding on that and opening up to that is something that a lot of people don't do. So, I mean, that's kind of a slippery slope of a question. Wouldn't you agree, Rosie? Jackie?
I think that would be the same thing as discernment. Like if you're given spiritual discernment, like have you ever been somewhere and you just met somebody and you just knew that it was wrong energy and you shouldn't talk to them or hang out with them, or you just had this weird feeling like something was going on and you didn't know how to describe it.
I call it bad vibes.
Yeah, bad juju.
Yep.
I call it juju.
What you eating over there? What you got?
Nothing. A candy bar.
Nothing you can have, sir. You had too much king cake.
Yeah, that's what Pamela said too. Well, my higher self can barely sort through all of the voices in my head. I should learn how to outward eject them, or how to draw them all together, which is what meditation is for. And hermeting, looking inward, does that.
There's a question that y'all haven't thought of about the spirituality end of this. What about AI?
Yeah, for real. I've been listening to a lot of stuff about that lately.
That's
I'm
that's that's true.
I'm kind of
What's this one?
kind of scared about it. I'm kind of
Terminator.
worried about it because I see that happening with gas prices. It's going to be like a downward, I think, a trickling in effect from the gas prices getting raised.
Listen, I filled up my Challenger today. It
Hmm.
cost me $79. I about died.
And what's going to happen when you can't drive to work, right? They're going to replace you with a robot,
Or get a
Well,
right?
bicycle.
crazy.
You live
Huh?
closer up there.
Get a bicycle.
Or you can get a bicycle or an electric bike. That is true. Or
A
a
bicycle?
hoverboard.
Oh
Hoverboard.
no.
Or you can stand on the side of the road and lift your pant leg up and get a ride that way. Hitchhike.
Listen. Hi, Beth.
Try to
I
remain and
love you
protect
too.
positivity. Negative attracts negative. I try to stay in the clear. I do think that that is very true. I do think when you put something out sometimes. I think that explains something that's in the physical realm of why when sharks hear something struggling in the water, they go toward it because they know it's at a weak point and they snatch it up and eat it like it's prey. If that makes sense. Like,
But let's face it, do they really need something at its weak point? I mean, they're at the top of the food chain in the ocean. I'm just
yeah.
saying.
Well, mostly at the top of the food chain. Depends on. There's some big whales out there that eat sharks
I just never met a hungry Cajun. That's all.
and some groups of whales.
Listen.
What?
Hear you host and track your. I don't care. I am an open book. There's nothing really that people don't already know about me.
Yeah, 32 cookies in that thing,
That's
Kevin.
not creepy at all.
I don't know, a dozen.
That's funny.
And then out of that dozen, there was some missing out of that.
I did this on you burn oil like you are getting on the air.
They said I'm not really doing that.
Do what?
Wait,
And shit.
Oh, hell, what?
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh. My brother made some homemade cookies, and that was some peanut butter cookies. It was.
Oh, I love peanut butter cookies.
Dude, well,
He said there were 32 of them, but there was only a dozen left in the back. I mean, and
Yeah.
listen,
and I was like, what?
the Patriot Act allowed the government to listen in on us. I mean, that thing is like 700 and some pages thick. And that was right around 9/11.
Yeah.
So, I
Hackers
mean,
getting hacked. That's interesting.
we gave them the right to basically listen in. But which again, I don't care because I ain't got nothing to hide.
Hey, there's Beth Allen.
Love you, Beth. Hope your weekend's going well.
I was, I'm gonna be. You tell them I'm gonna be on here just for. I'm gonna be a Hey Boo honorary Hey Boo for a few weeks until the real Hey Boo comes back. Miss Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she comes back, I'll be stepping down from being the honorary Hey Boo, and she can take just to help out with the shows right now.
I guess Beth don't like
And
us no more.
watch Rosie eat delicious food in
I
front of
don't
me.
usually do that, but I'm starving to death. Like I haven't eaten
What
all
you
day.
eating? What you got?
They allow the government to, but not private businesses unless they're being used by the government.
She ain't gonna tell me what she eating. That's wrong. What you eating? What you
Pork.
got? What kind of pork?
I can't tell you I'm eating pork because you're in Ash Tuesday or Fat Tuesday, Ash Wednesday, and Lent. I'm eating pork.
Oh no, that's no. I can eat meat today.
Peanut butter cookies. I think he was talking about the Patriot Act. information.
Yeah. I tell anybody I'm talking to, this is between me, you, and the FBI that's listening in, because I know they've been listening to my keywords for years, and that's okay, because I ain't doing nothing illegal.
Drink some water.
I drink Crystal Light. I like a Crystal Light, so I drink Crystal Light a lot. Right now, I'm drinking orange juice.
How much sodium is in Crystal Light? Any? Do you know?
I bet you there's some in it.
It's light.
I bet there's. Drink some water. And we have 1 minute left, by the way.
I'll drink a bottle. I'd say I drink some water during the week, but I don't drink a lot of it.
Yes, OJ has a lot of sugar.
Natural sugars.
Uh-huh.
Get that fresh squeeze in the jug.
Did you freshly squeeze it, or did you buy it at the?
OJ has lots of sugar in it.
Squeeze in the jug.
Freshly squeezed at the Walmart.
Yeah, in a jug.
Oh goodness!
So hopefully before next Sunday we'll have a new introduction video, but I'm not sure. I'm hoping I'll get it done. And it might be completely like different. It might not have anything to do with like with the one y'all do.
Oh, this one is drink water. That's what she needs to drink. You drink water?
No.
What do you drink, Jackie?
Monster coffee drinks, coffee drinks,
Lots of Monster coffee drinks.
Dr. Pepper, tea.
That's it.
That's it.
So everything caffeinated. Well, you got to stay awake somehow, right? Yeah.
Get her off the mic and see what happens.
Freshly squeezed from.
So as Chrissy says, listen and say your prayers and Hail Marys this week, and do your spiritual warfare work, your shadow work, your whatever you do, your meditation, your cleansing, your clearing, your healing, your chakra unblocking, your eating king's cake, whatever makes you feel better. Love the accent.
Good
Who's
night,
accent?
Chantel.
Jackie's.
What accent she talking about?
I don't know. Well, we got to go because I think there's a show right after us.
8:01.
Everyone have a good night. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Same bat channel. Same bat channel.
Bye.